In 1996, Karen Welterhahn, toxologist and professor of chemistry, spilled a tiny speck of dimethylmercury on her left hand. She was an expert on toxic metals and knew that this particular substance could penetrate cell membranes and cause cancer. But when she spilled the poisonous substance, she really thought nothing of it because she was wearing latex gloves and it was only a tiny drop. But unfortunately, what she didn't realize is that dimethylmercury is so volatile that it can penetrate latex. And 5 months later, Karen began stumbling into doors and slurring her words. The poisonous substance had in fact penetrated her gloves and began to attack the cells in her body. And about 10 months after being exposed to this toxic metal, Karen Welterhahn died from cancer. So in today's episode, I want to talk to you about the deadly poison that you may be exposed to. When I read Karen's story, my heart ached. What an unfortunate course of events. But it reminded me of another story of deadly poison. But in this story, the individuals who were infected, unlike Karen, who accidentally was exposed to the poison, these individuals chose to take the poison. You may be familiar with the story because it's a story of Israel, and the 12 spies found in Numbers chapters 13 and 14. Now in this story, God tells Moses to send 12 spies to check out the land of Canaan, which he has promised to give them. When the 12 spies come back, 2 come back excited about what God is going to do for them, and the other 10 come back spewing toxic poison of negativity, doubt, and fear into the congregation. And despite every miraculous thing God has just done for them, things like the 10 plagues that fell on Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea so they could escape from the enemies unharmed, the drowning of an entire Egyptian army in the sea, and God providing manna for them from heaven to sustain them on their journey. And despite all this, they still chose to doubt his power and ultimate plan for their lives. And what's interesting is that these men were able to convince the entire congregation of over 1 million people to distrust God. And the poison they were spewing was so toxic that it caused the people not only to complain and murmur against God, but to want to kill the 2 spies, Joshua and Caleb, who believed God and refused to be infected by the devil's poison. I hope you're getting a clear picture of just how toxic doubt, fear, and negativity can be. It causes people to lose their minds. And as I mentioned before, what makes this story so sad is that unlike Karen, who was accidentally exposed, the congregation of Israel made a conscious decision to be infected by the poison. And because of this, God said, forget it. He sent a plague that killed the 10 spies who introduced the poison to the camp. And he also let the congregation know that just as they had declared, they would in fact die in the wilderness. You see, God can't give good gifts to people who are deciding to allow themselves to die slowly with the devil's poison. So let me ask you a question. Are you infected? Are you allowing the poison of negativity, doubt, and fear to flow throughout your body, slowly killing you and the plans that God has for your life? Because if you're living a life where you're constantly doubting God, where you're listening and receiving the negative reports of others, or where you, like the 10 spies, are spreading your own negativity, doubt, and fears to other people, then my friend, you are slowly dying from the devil's poison. But praise God, there's an antidote that is strong enough to cleanse your body from the poisonous toxins and even reverse its negative effects. And that antidote is Jesus. You see, the more we spend time with Jesus, the more we become like him, and the less likely we are inclined to fall prey to the negativity and doubt that wants to infect our systems. So today, I want to challenge you to examine yourself and see how much of the devil's poison you are actually allowing into your life. And if you are allowing it into your life, reject it today. Reject the poison and choose to live a life free of toxins. And I want you guys to remember, I tell you every week, you're extraordinary through Christ. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, go ahead, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can get a notification every time we post a video. See you next time.